Hey everyone, Climb Callie here. So today I want to talk to you about how to play in an introduction to Dtides. So Dtides is this little tile right here called D zone. It's the term that we use for this. It's the main term is actually regional D effect zone, but we call it Dtides. And it has five different levels. So wave one, wave two, wave three, wave four, wave five. And each one of these has five difficulty levels. We have difficulty alert 1, alert 2, alert 3, alert 4, alert 5, or we commonly call this like A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Okay, so when you play this level, what you can do is that you can only use each awakener once, as well as the wheels on them. So now that I've used Blade on Daffodil, I can't use Blade again, and I can't use Daffodil again. There is one little exception, and that's if I go to borrow a unit. So I could click one of these waves, okay, and I could click, oh, I can't support. But if I click the support and I could find a Daffodil with a blade on it, I could totally do that. I can also find another unit with a blade on it and totally do that. Okay, so if you're brand new to this, it's probably going to be a little bit different for you because this is using the Arc 2 rule set. So the Arc 1 rule set is what you're used to right now. It's the main campaign of the story. Okay, but then once you complete this, it unlocks Arc 2, and there's completely different rules for this. So those rules are actually the same rules in this Dtide, and that might be a little bit of getting used to. So what I want to show you is actually probably the most important part of the rules, rather than going through all of it, is about key flare. So what you really want to do is you want to have a key flare bot, or we call it S-key bot. And the way, like, Ramona is one, but the way that you're going to find this is you can click one of your units, go to their enlightenments, you click the over exalt. You might not have it unlocked, that's fine, you can still click it. And if one of the items here says key flare regen level, that means they're an S-key bot. So what does that mean? If I go to like a team lineup, okay, and I click Ramona, and I click her details, you can see here that her key flare regen level is 63.8. That's her natural key flare regen. And the plus 109.2 is the gear that she has. So she has 170 about. And then I click the unit next to her, which is Helot. And she has 15 plus 7.5, so 22.5. Very, very small. You can learn a little bit more about how key flare works, but this is really important because when you play Arc 2, you want to be able to press this button here, and you can not only will it unlock a posse for you, but it will also unlock the ability to awaken somebody. So that's why you want key flare up, because it allows you to awaken one of your units and you want to rouse them early. So for instance, in this team here, I want to rouse Mouchette really quickly. Okay. So some of you might be like, all right, but what are the best Dtide teams? Because you just want to know, like, what are the best units to invest in? You maybe don't want to break your account. So what we're going to do right now is show you what at the current time is the hardcore meta and the best meta for Dtides. And right now we actually have a person, her name is Lens, who did this. So every single one of her teams are like the hardcore version of the teams, and they are the teams that will be able to go through all wave 1 to 5 perfectly well for most waves right now. So the first carry is Kathy. And this is the exact version of Kathy that is like her hardcore meta version, and you can see her stuff here. The next one is Mouchette. So this is the Mouchette team, and again, this is one of her hardcore variations. If you don't have one of these carries, you can always borrow them. So if I click the next wave, we have here, this one's a little bit different. So wave 3 has its own. On wave 3, this is a very common one where you see G-Doll and Faint. The other two units here can change. But you might quickly notice, if you know a little bit more about the game, that there is no S-key bot in this. So the way that they're generating key flare here is from these two wheels. So this wheel here is you gain 200 key flare at the end of the turn, or at the end of the turn, and you gain 1000 key flare after triggering death resistance, which is really great because this is a death resistance build. Both Lily and Faint can trigger a lot of death resistance. Lens did not trigger any death resistance, but there's other teams that will. And then as well here, this is why Incalculable Factor is often told to like get it as a newbie, as one of the wheels that you want to level up. That's a standard wheel. And this is because the wielder gains 200 key flare after releasing an exalt. So what this does is it allows you, these two wheels allow you to create a team that doesn't have a key flare bot in it. We go to wave 4 and you can see this carry here is G Murphy, and she borrowed this G Murphy. Now on this team, this is called the Lemurian team. Very common. And if we click wave 5, we can see that the last one that she used was the twins, right? And this is a very common twins team with like Aegeus and Thais here. But we can just look at like another person's team. If I just grab this person here, they have Liz. I'm going to guess that they're probably not a... let's grab Spooky. Okay, so Spooky has twins. Next wave, she has a weird version of a Mouchette team. Nice job, Spooky. And then you can see wave 3. Here we already have the, like a little bit of that Nymphea Shoe Lily. So it isn't actually the common one that you see, but let's see if we click wave 3 extra. We do have a G-Doll version. Wave 4 is a Kathy team. And then wave 5, so what's missing here? We have another Mouchette team. And see, this is the Mouchette, Helot, Hamlin version. And Mouchette and Helot are like the core of this team. So you can click through a lot of people's, stuff up here, right? Well, Frost, I know he's only doing Aqueer team, so it doesn't really help you. Let's click Anoretta. Okay, so they have a Towel team. What's extra? So a Helot team. This is an old meta team. It's not really used as much before as of now. It's just more for like the people that like played like the game like a year ago. It's much better to do the ones that I was kind of mentioning to get like G Murphy. Some of the newer Arc 2 carries are like the ones that you want to be finding, right? So here again is that on wave 3, you see that it's Doll and Faint, and it's Shu and Nymphea. Wave 4, we have, this is actually a type of team that's kind of interesting. It's a stall out team. And then this last one is a Kathy team, right? But you can see that there are different units here. So you can play around as long as you understand what the main carry is supposed to do and have some fun with it. So if I go back to Lens for a second, I want to show you one of them. If we go to wave 5, one of the things that we can do with this part here is I can actually start clicking things to read a little bit more about it. So I can click, like, you see how all of these covenants have something, but Caster's is a little different. I'm gonna actually click that and you can see that she used 2 different sets so that she gets damage amplification twice. And then you can actually just see like what did she prioritize here. So she prioritized crit damage and damage amplification. So let's see her Pollux. What did she prioritize here? It's crit damage on his Cov. So you can start to be like, well, in this team, what covenants do I use? What do I prioritize on them? Which is a little bit later on when you can actually prioritize their substats. But you can just click people who are using them and you can try to see like what are they using and how does that go. Same thing down here is you can actually click to watch a replay. So I can just watch like what is this replay? Okay. And if there's stuff that you don't understand, you might not know this, but you could click pause, and then I can just click the card and hold it. I can also click the posse part here, and I can read what is she using, how much sim mark is on right now. I can click here and see, can I see the wheels? I can't see the wheels that she's using from like this spot, but I can just click everybody and I can start to see through everything here. I can click the team and I can see how much Atonement of Pain stacks are on it. So don't be afraid to just like click things. What does this relic do? What about this relic? Why do they have that? Why do they prioritize it, right? By the way, this is one of the best relics that you want to be getting in Dtide. Just to show you up here, if you can ever see this relic, pretty much always get it. Okay, now you can see on my screen here that I didn't clear all of the waves right now. I actually did clear them before, but for me, my main goal is to get 375, and then once I get past 375, I just start messing around and having fun. So why do I do that? Well, it comes a lot with breakpoints for rewards. So when you're just starting, just play whatever you want. Even just getting alert 1 and 1 wave is good enough. Like you can start to like add it on as you start to get more comfortable with the game. Try to get as many points as you can, but like, just you kind of just figure it out. So what are the main breakpoints with this are actually 350. So this was the original Dtide level, and then they expanded it to being able to do 2 teams per wave. And when they did that, they added on a bunch more points. So for me, the next most important breakpoint is 375, and that's because I get the hearts, but I also get the black pieces. And then getting the blue pieces here is for me like a nice to have, not a need to have, because like getting a lot more units up to level 70 is like really important, because that's what I'm pretty much just missing for some of my clears. I just want to get more teams up because I want to get more units up so I can have more teams. I'm not a person who wants to have 5 strong teams. I want to have like 10 or 12 teams. So getting more of the black parts more important to me. But for some people, getting up to 500 or 400 points gets you all the way. So you can see that I'm missing one of them because I didn't do up to 400. But you can look at this and you can see right now I'm number 232. And I'm near the top of the people who have 395. I think there's like 3 other people above me. So in general, there are 230 people out there, including all the Chinese people, that can do all 5 waves at least at an A5 or get 400 points in a Dtide clear. So when people are telling you like you need to have like can it A5 things, there's not a lot of people out there that can actually do that. So you don't need to be like to getting up on it. Okay, like I can get 400, but I'm like just right now choosing not to because I don't really care. As I said, I want to get 375. But what these other people can be like is that they want to see this perfect clear banner that's all above, because seeing this clear to them like just doesn't feel as good. So they're really just being like pretentious jerks. Okay, like for them it's their OCD of seeing this perfect clear bar, and this makes them feel like a lesser human being for whatever reason. But it's perfectly fine just to get the points and the scores that you really want to get. I don't really actually consider getting A5 a skill issue. I actually consider getting A4 more of a skill issue. And to be quite honest, I think one of the highest skill levels is either having Liz or Uvash as a main DPS as a carry. It's super easy to get Mouchette as a carry. Okay, like there's people who use Mouchette as a support unit, and then like they can have level 60 units here with no wheels on them and even get a perfect clear. Okay, so like that really isn't that big of a deal to me, and I'll show you one of those just so you can kind of see this. Like, see this one here, you got this is looking too small. I'll exit that. Right here, Mouchette, and that all these 3 other units beside are all like level 60, and they have no wheels. So it's not really necessarily that hard to get some clears when you have those like big carries. And then there's some people that are kind of like talking a lot about this, but you can really look at it and you can look at their Soul Forge talent. So this is something that drastically affects Arc 2. And you can see here that my Daffodil's a 10. When you're starting out, even just getting like to 3 can take a long time to get to. So a lot of people that are doing these like clearing wave alert 5 at like all these like top ones, you can read what their soul forges are, right? This person actually is pretty impressive with 7765, but then other ones are going to be like a lot of 10s, or they're just going to be really high in terms of their soul forge talents, right? So you don't need to necessarily be thinking that, see, this person didn't even use wheels, but it has G Murphy as the carry. You can look at this other one, right? And you can see that there's a 10 on Clem. So don't be too worried about it. Like when you're first starting out, it's like, why can't I get that high? It's because we've built them up. Like I've been playing the game for almost a year, and my ability to do this is basically just because my account's old. And in the end of the day, it's really just understanding how your team works together and what you need to do in order to clear a level. what you can notice here is that there is also both an artifact that starts with it. So you can see like this is one that affects a counter team. So if you have a counter team, use it on this wave. It also is one right now where you have these chaos rings, and what the ring does is it gives you, so if I click this one, it gives you the portrait of the chaos units on your team. So right now I have for G-Doll, but if I click another one that has more chaos in the team, you can see that I had 3 portraits on this team. So what you want to be trying to do when you're creating your teams is like pick the units that have those portraits available. And especially if you're using a support awakener, you should try to, you know, a nice little tactic is pick a support awakener of the ring color, because like it's going to help you more than like picking one that isn't the ring color. But there's some people that just, you know, will really love Mouchette, so they'll always pick her. I picked her as a support because if you look at my Mouchette team, if I just click this and I click challenge, you can see that mine's a level 10, 111, and 5 Soul Forge. Like, it's not really a carry at this point. And also only E1. So I just have her here as a placeholder so that I'll just borrow a Mouchette, right? And right now I have 7 teams that I'm playing, having some fun with. And as I keep going, I'll just let them grow. That's not a big deal. So have fun with your builds. Play around, mess around. You can go and click the leaderboard and get inspiration. Some of them, you know, might not mean something to you, but you can just like keep scrolling down. So eventually, right, if I scroll down all the way to 232, you'll see me. And you can keep scrolling. I asked if they would do this, but they never really did it, where you could like click your name and then jump to your spot on the leaderboard so you can kind of see people all around you. Because sometimes seeing what like somebody like me, where I have like all the units unlocked, right, doesn't really help you. But seeing somebody else who's like around your same age of an account, right, can really help you understand like, okay, that's like a unit I should maybe like go for. This is like the way that they completed that team. So I can look at this person, right, and we can see like, you know, what did they use for wave 2? Well, they used a G-Lot team. Cool. All right, so with that, I hope like that helps you out. And yeah, I'll be showing you a bunch of clears with Dtides, and hopefully that will help you just to see like a little bit more strategy going forward. But enjoy.